What's up everybody, Sam Kimmel here with Stealthbuilt, and today we're going to be discussing 5 things that you should know and consider before starting your custom wide body project. Number 1, what will you be using the car for? Now I know this seems like a very silly question, but is it going to be a daily driver? Will it be a strictly show car? Are you going to drive it 50 miles a year or 5,000 miles a year? Now each one of those things, when you answer it, will determine how aggressive you'll want to go, how extreme you'll want to be with the body kit, and how much you're going to have to modify in order to make this car drivable for what you are planning to use it for. Now to break that down just a little bit more on point 1, this Audi behind us, as you guys know if you've been watching the build series, is highly modified. We've modified the suspension, we've modified the firewall, we've modified the rocker panels. We've pretty much modified everything on this car. Now this car is very drivable, but that was not an easy process to change all of those things. Now part of that is because we only plan to use this car as a show car, a couple hundred miles a year, and we are running a 335/25/20 tire, which is very aggressive for being on the front and the back of this car. So if you went with a smaller wheel or tire combination, you can obviously get away with a little less modifications, but we wanted to go extreme and we're not going to drive this car that much, and so our choices have led us to this point where we have a heavily modified car that we plan to drive in small increments, just to shows, just for fun, and around town. If you were planning to daily drive the car, I definitely wouldn't go quite this extreme with any of the modifications, to be honest. Air suspension, wheels, all that stuff's good, but going super wide is really not a great idea for a daily driver car. And number 2, what kind of suspension are you going to be using on the car? Will it be static? Will it be adjustable coilovers, or something like we're running on this, which is an airlift air suspension? Now, that does matter a little bit based on where you live. You know, how rough are the roads? Do you live in a place that has a lot of potholes, or is it smooth? It also kind of depends on how far outside the wheel well you go with your wheels, tires combination, and your flares. So you want to consider where you're going to be driving the car, you know, how much money you have to invest in the suspension, and also, you know, how much drivability you want out of the vehicle. If you're specifically using it as a show car, you could certainly do a static dropped car that doesn't have any adjustability. But if you're going to drive the car at all, I obviously always recommend to have air suspension or something that you can move the car up and down for if you come up to a speed bump, or you know, any kind of situation where you got to go up and over or potentially hit a pothole or something like that. It's always nice to be able to drive the car at a reasonable height, especially when you have a front lip that is as low as the one on this Audi. Number 3, and probably one of the most important points, is the budget. Now, I put it number 3 because I feel like the budget can always be adjusted, and I don't mean necessarily going up with the budget, but sometimes you can take on a portion of the project yourself that you wouldn't normally do, and that can cut back some of the costs. Now this body kit behind us, you've seen me hand build it. We built it out of dowel rods, hot glue, tape, and some fiberglass. The most expensive part of this body kit was the actual body filler that we used to smooth all this out, and the primer. But all in all, this entire body kit we built for around $600. Now that does not include the spoiler or the wing mounts, but the actual body kit that you see has about $600 into it. So if you're willing to spend $600 and a month of your own labor and time, you can do just about anything. Now, the budget does need to include your suspension, wheels, tires, all of those different things that it's going to take to make this kit the entire package. Whatever you're imagining that your budget's going to be, and I would double that, and then I would add about 50 more percent, and that should be what you're going to end up with in the end for a budget on your car. Number 4 on our list is, where are you going to build the car? Now, a lot of people have a building, some people don't. Some people want to try to build it outside. Some people want to build it at a friend's house, or maybe a shop that you work at will allow you to use their facilities. Now, that's a big thing to consider, because when you're thinking about this body kit, sure, you can get most of it done in probably 30 days. Now, if you're skilled, you may be able to go a little faster, maybe with help from a friend. But I guarantee you'll probably have at least 30 days in this, and you want to find a reliable location where you can keep the car, build the car, and finish the car all in one spot. You don't want to be moving the car around once you start mocking everything up, because a lot of the things that you're going to do to the car need to be done, and they need to be done in one spot and not moved around a bunch. Now, if you can find a friend or you have a building or something like that, that would be my recommendation. I would not necessarily try to build this outside. You could certainly do it if you live in a temperate place that has good weather. You could do it under carports or something like that, and that would certainly work. But you definitely want to consider where you're going to build the car, how long it's going to take, make up a plan, and try to stick to that plan and that timeline. And last but not least, number 5. Number 5 is the design. Now, I know that probably seems like the first thing you want to figure out, but you probably already have an idea of what you want the car to look like, at least a general idea. There's a lot of great graphic designers out there that can help you designing a visual image of what you want to build. There's also some AI programs that you could use to give you an idea of where to start, but you definitely want to sit down and come up with a decent idea from the initial start. Now, I will say, we've changed this car multiple times as we were building it, as it progressed. I didn't have a set design. I knew I wanted this car to have kind of a DTM-inspired look to it, but I never sat down and actually drew this car out. Now, I wish I would have. It would have saved me a little bit of time. It would have saved me a little bit of money in the materials that we used that we tore off. But I do think that it's important to put the car together, sit back and look at it. Maybe you're going to look at it for a while. You know, maybe it's going to be a week. You put that part on there and you stand back and you look at it and you realize, I love it, I don't love it, I need to change it, I'm going to keep it the same. You know, those are things that you're only going to know when you see it in person. Sometimes things look great on paper and they don't look good in real life. They don't look good on camera. They don't look good in person. So these are things that you may have to build it and then you may have to change it. Get a really good design down, settle on that design before you even start building anything, and get all your materials together so you don't spend a ton of time redoing things because of a poorly planned project. Now, those are the 5 most important things I think that you need to consider when doing a wide body project, but you should also consider that there are people that will help out with this. You can get sponsors. If you're doing a really extreme build, sponsors like to jump in on that kind of stuff. So, you know, when you start building this, start recording it. Make a YouTube video like I did. Find some sponsors that are interested in being a part of the build. You know, suspension, wheels, tires. You can get sponsors for almost anything if you do it the right way. Find some cool people to work with, find some cool people that want to help with the project, get them on board, hold to your word, do them right, and make everything look great, and everybody be happy in the end. You end up with a really cool car, and your sponsors end up with a really cool video to share as well. I get asked all the time, why do I make these videos? Because I hope to inspire other people to build cool stuff. You know, I know this car isn't everyone's cup of tea, and what you build won't be everybody's either, but that doesn't mean you can't build something really awesome that you'll enjoy and a lot of people also will enjoy with you. So go out there, get in the garage, build something cool, tag me in the comments if you do. I'd love to check out your build as well. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Check out our website, stealthbuilt.com, if you want some cool swag, t-shirts, hats, things like that. And we'll see you on the next one.